How wonderful it is to join you for this summit. I'm so sorry that I won't be able to be there with you in person, but it's a pleasure to share my thoughts with you. Where were you a year ago? A year ago this month, I was in London. I was at the OECD in Paris at their blockchain forum. I was at the UN General Assembly in New York. All that's over. Suddenly, almost in an instant, our world changed. In early March this year, we held London Blockchain Week. We were already starting to see the danger signs of what had not yet been declared a pandemic. A lot of our overseas participants pulled out. Speakers told us their companies wouldn't allow them to go. Their numbers were down. We held the conference and we streamed it. But we knew that something was happening. 2 days later, I went to Ireland, and on that day, the 9th of March, the government cancelled the St. Patrick's Day March. I knew something was going on. And I got on a plane and I came back to my home, Australia. And I've been here ever since. So that life of speaking to people, meeting people, networking and going to conferences is for the moment in suspension. So let's take a little bit of time though from our reflective pose in various stages of lockdown and certainly our limited capacity to travel about what's been going on and what might the future be. Things won't be the same. We can't go back. But how can we use this time of reflection to think about how we build a better future for ourselves and for our families? Wear a mask and wash your hands. We've had to learn a whole lot of new behaviours, some of which don't come naturally to us. We want to go and hug our friends, but we know that we shouldn't. We find masks uncomfortable and a little bit embarrassing, but in some places we have to wear them. This move to isolation, this move to virtual, has been uncomfortable for a lot of people. But it's not just discomfort that we're experiencing. Many people are really suffering during the pandemic. Yes, there are those who've experienced COVID, 27.4 million people, nearly 900,000 have died. But in addition to that, they estimate that 25 to 30% of people are suffering from panic, depression, anxiety. People are not enjoying this experience. People are enduring it. Suicides have increased by 25%. Domestic violence has increased by 20%. The whole world is suffering, whether or not they've contracted the virus. But just as importantly, the global economy is being severely impacted by the pandemic, with industries such as travel and tourism, transport and retail being impacted. It's estimated that global remittances, a critical flow, particularly for people in emerging economies, have dropped by 20%. Small and medium enterprises, which employ 70% of people in the global economy, have been really hit by this pandemic with mass closures and layoffs. The World Bank estimate that there'll be a 5.2% reduction in global GDP. and job losses, which really affect people. The UN estimate that half the global workforce could lose their livelihoods due to COVID. And if you think about people on the streets of India and Africa and Indonesia who earn cash every day to feed themselves, how can they be surviving in lockdowns? The pandemic is having a devastating effect on human beings all around the globe. But not quite so with the environment. This is a picture of Venice where the lagoons have cleared. NO2 emissions have gone down. Europe estimates by 35%, and the UK reported a drop in emissions of 60%. So what's bad for us humans seems to have been good for the planet. And in moving towards this regenerative future, we need to find that balance where humans, the economy, and the planet can coexist in health and harmony. So what's been going on in healthcare during the pandemic? The answer is a lot, because what we've seen is the pivoting of companies that were already building different blockchain applications and directing the build towards something that's going to help with COVID, whether it's the data tracking and the analytics, or the provenance for the broken supply chains and assuring that the personal protective equipment is in fact genuine equipment, whether it's big data or fintech or virtual healthcare, managing people in a remote way, and telemedicine. All of these things have absolutely accelerated during the pandemic, and it's a good thing. Health was always slow to embrace digital tools, and now we're seeing things moving a lot faster. But health isn't just about care that you receive in hospitals. It's also about money, about being able to survive, about payments, remittances, donations, and philanthropy. And we've seen incredible innovation during the pandemic in these areas. So I heard a story last week from the Philippines where micro entrepreneurs in villages who buy Spotify and Netflix cards and sell them to the villagers can't get the foreign exchange to buy those cards. Why? Because the money shops are shut. So they've been turning to crypto as their way of obtaining foreign exchange to be able to continue their small enterprises. People are at home, so they're experimenting. Crypto trading volumes have gone up. Mobile money is absolutely rapidly expanding to the point that talking about the unbanked now seems ridiculous because you can get money straight into your mobile phone. In addition to that, companies are reporting new digital customers from demographics that they never saw before, like older people who never wanted to send money through the mobile phone. But again, because the money shops are closed, they're turning to the mobile money providers. And we're seeing the proliferation of new models of social innovation and philanthropy using technology. There are programs that are raising money for charity. There are programs that are providing direct payments to people in emerging economies. And there are programs like Munch that is matching philanthropy to pre-accredited projects to help people during COVID. So there are many people who are doing things to try and make sure that those who are suffering are getting some of the essential financial support that they need. But we've only just seen the beginning of the economic challenges, and this is something that we really need to look at moving forward. As I said, healthcare has changed. We've learned to do things digitally, and people aren't going back. A company called Afria Record is rolling out a mobile health wallet. You can hold your health data in the palm of your hand. And as people are now saying, data is the new gold. So you own your data, You can sell your data. You can permission people to use your data. You can allow this advanced precision medicine that can find every detail about you and your medical history and help doctors make better treatment choices for you. It's not going back. It's a new world, and healthcare can be totally reimagined. But here we are. We're still in various stages of lockdown. The debates rage between public health and public welfare. We're indebting our children for 50 years to come, and we're still trying to decide what that means and what we should do about it. People who are governing us are lost. If there's a cure, we need to find it. We need to be the cure, aided by technology, which is the great enabler of our time. And the new world order that we want to build, that we must build, that we need to build, has to have people at the centre. Instead of having an economic system that is all about growth and making the richest people on the planet richer, we need to have a system that looks after people, looks after the planet, looks after the economy, all enabled through digital technology. This has to be our future. This is a reckoning. This is a time that we can reflect and that we can regenerate. The human-centred economy has to have sustainable development at its heart, connecting people, connecting the economy, and connecting the planet. Impact-focused blockchain initiatives are going to be able to help us do this. We need energy transformation. We need food transformation. We need urban sustainability transformation. We need population transformation. We need biodiversity transformation. And we need a system of global governance that is going to be capable of looking after global commons problems, which has clearly been a failure of the international system during this pandemic. This is going to require tremendous collaboration, hyper co-collaboration amongst people all around the world to be able to build this new world digital health. We need to shape the technology. We need to engage and educate government. We need to engage and educate regulators. We need to ensure that these digital ecosystems are built ethically. And we need to build that pool of talent for the digital future that is upon us and develop a new global economic system. All of this is possible if we have intention, if we can come together, if we can think about building a global distributed autonomous system that engages and rewards all of us for looking after people, for looking after the economy, and for looking after the planet. It will be enabled by digital, and we can build a new regenerative economy. Thank you so much.